Hi everyone, this is me Aastha and I'm up with my new video again. So I know I'm a little bit late, little bit nahi bahut zyada, but देर आए दुरुस्त आए. So in the last video we talked about Upper Paleolithic sites, and in this video we will be talking about Mesolithic sites. So first we'll be talking about the climate, then the variation in the tools, then we'll proceed towards the sites. So in the last video we talked about the Upper Paleolithic site, in which we saw it was Pleistocene era that was going on. And in this, the Pleistocene geological era, it made its way for Holocene era, which was about 10,000 years ago. Many environmental changes took place during this transition, and there are detailed profiles of climatic pattern for some parts of subcontinent that has been observed. For instance, an analysis of the soil sample from the sites of Birhanpur in West Bengal, Birbhanpur, I'm sorry, and it shows the trend towards the increasing aridity. On the other hand, the study of salt lake sediments and pollen grains at Dadwana in West Rajasthan suggests the higher rainfall at this point of time. Then in eastern Madhya Pradesh, we saw that the climate of the early and middle Holocene, it seems to have been wet and warm, heavy rainfall in summer monsoon months and moderate level of rainfall in winter. And then the dry spell, it seems to have been set in about 4,000 to 3,000 years ago. So it's dry right now, but before it used to be wet. And due to this is all about climatic condition. Now we'll come to the variation in the tools. So towards the end of the Pleistocene or beginning of the Holocene, there were certain changes in the stone toolkits of prehistoric people. People started making and using very different small tools referred to by prehistorians as microliths. So this is what microlith is. It's just smaller tools. So if you remember in last video, I did mention that if there's a specific kind of stone tools that people used to use, it does not necessarily mean that they stopped using the previous tools that they used to use. So yeah, and then we'll talk about the term epipaleolithic. So it's just used for the transitional stage of tool, and because it's specified as like it's smaller than the typical of upper paleolithic but larger than microliths. So change of the toolkits, it must have been related to the changes in the environmental factor, but detailed connection it have not been fully worked out. The continuous stratigraphic sequence of prehistoric occupation, it shows the gradual decrease in the size of stone tools. It is and it is very clear. So its stratigraphic sequence is just the sequence of the soil or the occupation where people used to live. It just means that people used to live continuously in that place. For example, from Upper Paleolithic and then afterwards Mesolithic and then Neolithic. So it's yeah, that's it. And then the term Mesolithic, it is generally used for post-Pleistocene, that is Holocene, hunting-gathering Stone Age cultures marked by the use of microlith. It is not, however, easy to define or identify this space with precision. Sites such as Patni in Maharashtra, Pahang Lena, Batatumba Lena, Peli Lena in Sri Lanka, it has given the evidence of microliths in late Pleistocene context. Further, microliths it have been made and well used into prehistoric period. The Mesolithic economy, like the Paleolithic, was still essentially based on hunting gathering, but some sites have given evidence of domestication of animals. So it was the transitional phase. In previous video of Upper Paleolithic sites, we saw that the hunting and gathering was the main occupation. And in Neolithic, we'll see the domestication of animal and plant. It's the main occupation, but this is since it is the transitional phase. Domestication have been found to some extent, but the hunting and gathering it still prevailed. And Mesolithic site reflects different level of sedentariness. It just means occupation, and some seems to have been. It has some was permanent or semi-permanent settlements, or at least settlements that were repeatedly inhabited over a long period of times. Pottery, it was absent in most of the Mesolithic sites, but it did occur at Langnach in Gujarat and Kaimur region of Mirzapur, that is in UP. And one of the feature of Indian Mesolithic phase is the spread of settlement to new ecological niche. So it might have been due to the increase in population, which it could have been because with cord impressed patterns, anvils, hammer stones, querns, mullers, which was used for grinding and food processing, ring stones, and there were also bones of wild cattle, sheep, goats, pieces of burnt clay with reed impression. It shows that the Mesolithic people of Chupani Mandu, they lived in the wattle and dog huts. It's just a method of building. Yeah, that's it. The excavation revealed the outlines of two huts, two round huts belonging to Pier 2A, and five round huts of Pier 2B. Tier 3, there were remains of 13 round and oval huts clustered very close to each other. The round huts had an average diameter of 3.3 meter and oval ones 4.7 into 3.3 meter. Outside the huts were hearths. Hearths is a place where they used to build fire, maybe for cooking or just for heat. And traces of what seemed to have been bases of storage bins made of bamboo and clay. Wild rices is reported from the late Mesolithic levels at the site. Now, three excavated sites of Sarai Naharai, Mahadaha, and Damdama. It lies very close to each other. So, Sarai Naharai, it's in Pratapgarh district in UP. It is located on the banks of dried Oxbow Lake, which marks an old course of Ganga. So, geometric microliths were found here, along with the shells and animal bones of bison, rhinoceros, uh, then stag, fish, then tortoise. Within the habitation area, there were 11 human burials in oblong pits, those of 9 men, 4 women, and a child. The age of the men were estimated to be in the range of 16 to 35 years, and women 15 to 35 age. One of the burial skeletons had arrow embedded in its ribs, and the multiple burial contained the remaining remains of the 4 persons. Microlith tools, animal bones, shells were placed in the graves as grave goods. So, in a previous video, I did mention about grave goods. It's just maybe because people used to believe in afterlife or something, so that's why they used to place some goods in the grave. So that's grave goods. And an analysis of skeletal material revealed that the dental health of the people was on whole good, but some of them they did suffer from osteoarthritis. So it's just in between our bones there's cartilage, and if it goes through wear and tear, it's that's called osteoarthritis. And the Mesolithic level at Sarai Nahara, it has been dated around 84,000 plus minus 150 BCE. That is by radiocarbon method. I did mention about radiocarbon method, dating method. So if you don't know what it is, uh, kindly watch my previous videos. Then we'll proceed towards Mahadaha. It is also on the bank of Oxbow Lake. An excavation revealed 60-meter thick occupational deposit and distinct area associated with habitation and butchering. The microliths, they were made of chert, quartz, chalcedony, crystal, agate, all which it must have been bought over fairly long distance across the river from Vindhyas. 28 burials of 30 individuals, including 2 instances of man and woman buried together, they were found within the habitation area. The burials were elliptical, that is oval, and base sloping. The grave goods included microliths, shells, burnt pieces of animal bones, bone arrowheads, rings, ochre pieces. The bones found in the butchering area included that of wild cattle, hippopotamus, deer, pigs, and turtles. Thousands of animal bones have been found in the lake area. Mesolithic people of Mahada, they were tall. Men were up to 1.90 meter and women of 1.62 to 1.76 meter. The dental health of the people, it was good, but many of them suffered from osteoarthritis. I didn't mention what it is. And of the 17 males, 7 females and 3 children identified in skeletal record. 5 represented persons less than 18 years age, 6 belonged to 18 to 40 age group, and only 1, that is a female, represented a person between 40 to 50 years old. And these figures provide an idea of average age life expectancy. Then the Damdama. It is situated at the confluence of small stream belonging to Sai river system. Within the 1.5 meter thick occupational deposit, excavators they discovered microlith bones, objects, cones, mullers, anvils, hammerstones. There were hearths, patches of burnt floor plasters, charred wild grain, uh, wild grain, and animal bones. There were four multiple burials among the 41 human burials. In one of the graves, an ivory pendant was found among the grave goods. Dates of Damdama, if I mispronounce, and it falls within the early 7th millennium BCE. Recently, domesticated rice have been reported from Mesolithic level at this site. Rock shelters excavated at Likakia. So we'll proceed towards Likakia. Yeah. So it is in Mirzapur district of southern UP. It has yielded blade tools and microliths. So there is clear tendency of tools to become progressively smaller in upper level of the deposit. Burials were found, so was pottery. Baghai Core is another rock shelter site in the same area. This had a pre-ceramic and ceramic microlithic phase. Two extended burials were identified. The first belonged to pre-ceramic phase and the second belonged to ceramic phase. So what is ceramic and pre-ceramic phase? Ceramic is basically a period when pottery was there, but pre-ceramic is where it wasn't present. So yeah, that's it. So a 150 square meter section of Mesolithic floor was excavated at Pestra. Apart from microliths, there were evidence of large and small fireplaces positioned very close to each other. The thinness of the deposit suggests a short period of Mesolithic occupation. Now we'll come to Birbanpur. It is close to Damodar River in Bardwan district of in West Bengal. So Mesolithic stone tools made of quartz, some of church, chalcedony, it was found here. It seemed to have been both a habitation as well as factory site. So I did mention what is factory site in a previous video. So do watch it if you don't remember. A study has shown that the climate during the Mesolithic phase at Bibanpur was drier than in immediately preceding phase, which was more wet and humid. Now we'll proceed towards Bagor in Bilwara district of eastern Rajasthan. So it is one of the best documented Mesolithic site. It is located on sand dunes about 25 km west of Bilwara in Rajasthan. It is close to Kothari River. Three occupation levels have been represented with continuous human occupation over more than 5,000 years. So period 1, which is around 5,000 to 2800 BCE, according to radiocarbon dates, and it was Mesolithic. Period 2, it was Chalcolithic, and 3, it gave the evidence of iron. So microliths, it was found in great number in period 1 but continued in the later phase as well. The microliths of period 1 was mostly made of locally available chit and quartz. Most of them were made on the blades, and they included a large number of geometrical microliths such as triangle, trapeze. House floors paved with stone slabs were found, and in some places there were evidence of roughly circular arrangements of stones that may have marked the outlines of shelters. Certain stone paved areas with large number of animal bones were probably butchering area. Only one burial was unearthed, and there was no definite evidence of grave goods. Other discoveries included ring stones, perhaps used as hammer stones to make microliths, pieces of red ochre cones, rubbing stones for grinding food, and the bones of wild animals, including those of wild cattle, two kinds of deer, pigs, jackal, rat, minor lizards, turtles, and fish. Bones of domesticated sheep, goats, cattle were also reported. There is a possibility that small bits of pottery found at the site may belong to Mesolithic phase. Microliths have been found in the valley of Tapi, Narmada, Mahi, and Sabarmati. So we talked about Bagor as well. Now we'll come to Langnach. So sorry if I mispronounce again. So one of the important site is Langnach or Langnach, whatever. The occupational deposit here was divided into three phases. The period one was Mesolithic and yielded microliths, human burials, bones of wild animals, and some potsherds. And yeah, that's it. And now we come to Adamgarh Hill near Hoshangabad, and it has already been mentioned among the Paleolithic site of central India. Its upper layer represented a Mesolithic level, which in turn made way for Neolithic Chalcolithic one. Shells found between 15 to 21 centimeter from top of Mesolithic deposit were dated by radiocarbon method to around 55,000 BCE. So Mesolithic level belongs at least to 6th millennium BCE. Thousands of microliths were found here, mostly of jade, chalcedony, jasper, agate, raw materials which are available in riverbed of Narmada, about 2 kilometer away. Geometrical microliths, triangle and trapeze were very common. Mace heads or ring stones and hammer stones were also found. The wild animal bones comprise those of hare, lizard, various other kinds of deer, horse, porcupines, etc. Bones of domesticated cattle, sheep, goat, dog, and pig have been found. It has been reported, but the evidence has been questioned. This site has given evidence of pottery at Mesolithic level. Now, Bagaur 2 in Stone Valley, it has already been mentioned in the Paleolithic site of central India, and this site also has a Mesolithic phase. The tools are jade and chalcedony. Geometrical microlith occurred. Fragments of grinding stones, one hammer stones, and pieces of red ochre were found. There were few finished stone tools, and as much as 96.7% of total microlithic material that were excavated consisted of waste material of stone tool working. This suggests that the tools were made here and taken away to other places. So the waste material, it suggests that they used to make the stone tools there. So if you have read NCRT, you will find we waste. It is one of the method how archaeologists identify that if it was a factory site or not. So it suggests that it was taken away to the other places. So it suggests there was trade, and the location of 5 or 6 large shelters can be identified by series of post holes. Three hoof prints of sambar deer were preserved in the excavated deposit. So what is post hole? It is just a cut feature that is used to for holding the timber or the stone. So it is basically sometimes they used to dig and in the ground if there's a cut being made. So it archaeologists, they define through the post holes, like what kind of construction or building there used to be. So through the cuts and uh, yeah, the hole, yeah, whatever. So it's that. If you don't understand, do mention in the comments below, I'll explain it again. So let's proceed towards Bagaur 2. So in Son Valley, sorry, let's proceed towards Bhimbetka. So it has also already been mentioned in the section on Paleolithic sites. So this site, it shows a gradual reduction in the size of tools. So Mesolithic tools includes blades and geometrical microliths like triangle, trapeze, crescents. Quartz was used in great deal in Paleolithic stage, but in Mesolithic phase there was shift to chalcedony. Bhimbetka is famous for its Mesolithic paintings, which we will be discussing in the Mesolithic art in the next video. So, in peninsular India, microlith sites found in vicinity of Mumbai, it seems to be it represents the coastal Mesolithic communities who exploited marine resources for food. Microliths, it have been found in other parts of Maharashtra as well. Further south, microliths was mostly made out of milky quartz. They have been found at Jalahali, sorry if I mispronounce, and Kibbenhali near Bangalore in Karnataka in Goa, and Nagarjunkonda in southern Andhra Pradesh, and Renugunta in Chittor district, Andhra Pradesh. Microliths occur at many places along the east coast of India and seems to mark camps of Mesolithic fishing community. Chennai, tiny stone tools, most of pots and cherts have been found on old sand dunes known as teris. So I haven't mentioned everything here. So in this presentation. So if you find anything important, do note it. So on the Vishakhapatnam coast, stone tables and ring stones have been found at sites of as Chandrampalam and Paradesipalam and Rushi Konda. So I'm really sorry if I mispronounce. Anyways, similar stones are used today by local fishermen in the area as net sinkers, and apart from coastal areas, rock shelters, flat hilltops, river valleys, and lake sides were also inhabited during the Mesolithic phase. The evidence from Mesolithic sites from different parts of subcontinent suggests the movement and interaction between communities. Factory sites located at source of raw material must have been the meeting grounds for different groups. The fact that microlith tools from north and south of Ganga are made of same kinds of stones indicates that either the raw materials or the tools themselves were moved across the river. The Mesolithic people of Sarai Naharai, Damdama, and Mahadaha would have had to travel over 75 kilometers to reach the stone resources of the Vindhyas. Clearly, the communities living in the northern alluvial plain and hill people of northern fringes of Vindhyas must have been interacting with each other. In later times, Mesolithic communities must have interacted with early agriculturists who lived in their neighborhood. There are many instances of temporary Mesolithic campsites, such as in various parts of subcontinent, but sites such as Sarai Damdama, and Mahadaha and Chupani Mando were inhabited continuously. This can be inferred from the nature of the archaeological evidence and also certainly more specialized studies of faunal material. The evidence from several sites of formal ceremonial burials with the bodies usually laid out in the west-east direction, sometimes the other way around, with grave goods suggest of some sort of belief in afterlife. This may well be so, but there is ethnographic evidence of societies in which certain belongings of the deceased are considered to be to bring bad luck to the living, and these are therefore buried along with the bodies. Instances of jewelries found on the body suggest a custom of adorning the body before burial and may indicate high ranking individuals within the community. So I already mentioned the why the grave goods might have been used. So it further says that they might think that the dead person's belongings might bring bad luck, so they used to often bury it with the dead person. So yeah, that's it about yeah so that's it, and we'll meet in the next video, which would be about my Mesolithic art. So if you like my video, do like it, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe my channel, and do hit the bell icon so that you stay updated, and yeah, share as much as possible.